Welcome, especially to you who have followed this journey from the short clips to part 1 and part 2. You've shown up for yourself, and that's the first step toward real freedom. Today, we're diving deep into the full teaching on inner forgiveness. 1. Definition of forgiveness. Forgiveness equals intentional decision to let go of resentment and anger. It can also be said to be, according to the dictionary, an intentional decision to let go of resentment and anger. There is a quote that says, "To err is human, to forgive is divine." We are made to know as Christians that Jesus Christ came to die for us, whilst his blood was also shed on it, and now we have the Holy Spirit who is the perfection of our salvation. 2. Understanding guilt. Guilt is the emotional discomfort of when you believe you are responsible for hurting someone. Explanation. This part isn't all about confessing your sin before God and asking for forgiveness. There is a feeling that is termed as guilt, meaning guilt is an emotional discomfort you feel when you believe that you are responsible for something that offended or hurt someone else. These feelings are based on emotions of which we are aware. Our emotions play the largest part in our lives as humans. 3. 2 levels of forgiveness. A. God's forgiveness. Humble yourself, seek God's mercy, and have faith in his forgiveness. Explanation. As previously stated, we are humans, and those who still have their conscience active in them constantly have a sense of guilt, which is where the first portion comes from. When we run to God for forgiveness, we typically kneel before him and humble ourselves, sometimes crying to indicate our state of remorse for what we have done. Then we put on the faith of being forgiven, which is necessary and important. For this part, we know that Jesus' blood is at work to redeem us. B. Inward forgiveness. This is forgiving yourself even after God forgives you. Explanation. The sensation of guilt and its power over us is quite strong, but after turning to God, humbling ourselves and asking for forgiveness while having trust that we are forgiven, the next step comes from you. You must forgive yourself. Yes, and I have been forgiven by God, so there is no cause for alarm. But have you forgotten you have something in you called the brain and its great ability to remember events or situations? Bad news spreads like wildfire. It also spreads faster than good news. Negative thoughts and memories are more persistent and have a greater influence than positive ones. You have been forgiven by God, but it was an experience. You once felt guilty and condemned yourself. Those scenes will always be replayed by your brain, or the temptation that you fell into then may just replay itself before you, and that is where your brain comes in yearning for more. 4. The mental battle. Inner forgiveness is a brawl of the mind. Shame attacks using past mistakes. Explanation. When it comes to inner forgiveness, we should be conscious that it is more like a brawl of the mind, where your shame is pitted against you, and your past misdeeds serve as a legal foundation of attack. You must understand that temptations will always be replayed in your mind or through events. 5. Weapons for winning the mental war. Use prayer, spiritual weapon, and discipline, physical weapon. Explanation. Winning the mental war requires prayer and discipline, as Jesus said in the Lord's Prayer, "And lead us not into temptation." Prayer is the spiritual weapon introduced, but what about the physical weapon? Discipline, keeping your mind under control, is the key to mastering your thoughts. 6. Steps to achieve inner forgiveness. Step 1. Acceptance. Be at peace with yourself. Acknowledge mistakes. Explanation. The mind has demonstrated that it is an autonomous mountain that operates on its own terms. Hence, the first step in attempting to govern it is acceptance, also known as being at peace with yourself. Acceptance recognizes that you can always deceive the world but never yourself. I use this strategy frequently when meditating or reflecting on my past. Before I begin evaluating myself, I begin with acceptance. That is, whatever I have done wrong in the past, I have learned to always accept the fact that I made that mistake. My mind will first judge, criticize, and point out all of my weaknesses. Therefore, instead of disputing, I will accept first. Step 2. Correction. Redirect yourself. Learn from mistakes. Explanation. After the acceptance phase, correction comes in, for you to be able to acknowledge the truth of your mistake. Your mind will automatically set itself up to correct you. Remember that a peace resolution was signed in your first moment of acceptance. Thus, the next stage is to direct yourself away from repeating the past. 7. Outcome of inner forgiveness. Peace is realized, guilt lifted, inward forgiveness is essential. Explanation. Peace has been fully realized. and the burden of guilt has been lifted. The procedure mentioned in steps 1 and 2 is based on experience and what we have always done, and the result is 100% active. Outward forgiveness is available and easily accepted because of our gracious God and the benefit of Jesus' blood, but inward forgiveness is required.